Hello, my friends. So today's episode, I believe with all my heart, applies to all of us. We have gone through over the past 12 plus months a pandemic, but I also believe we are currently in an epidemic when it comes to our small businesses, our restaurants, our service industry that's facing a shortage of workers. And with that, putting a lot of pressures on our workers. And we have people right now, I don't know if you in the past few months have thought about, you're out to get a cup of coffee, you're at a restaurant, you're out waiting to, check out to buy a pair of pants or shorts, and you're thinking, why is this taking so long? We're going to go into this today where we're keeping our emotions in check and we're infusing empathy and patience like we never have before, because, my friends, we need it more than ever. So today's guest, I am very grateful to have on today. I have known for 20 plus years, one of my favorite humans on the planet Earth. So I want to introduce Samantha Sederett. And Sam, I feel like saying Sam Lyons because that's in me from the beginning of time. But Sam, yes, I want to say thank you for joining me today. You're here. Hi. And thank you. So before we jump into today's episode, if you are an avid Goodness Chick listener, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you are growing and getting a whole lot out of it, I'd love for you to consider being a sponsor. You can do so by either Venmo or PayPal. Hop on goodnesschick.com. We take both, whether it's a one-time donation or monthly. My friends, from the bottom of my heart, it is appreciated. And as we hop into today's episode, Samantha has been in the service industry, would you say 15 years, Sam? No, 12 years. My math, I'm an English major, not math.
Yeah, like 15 years, yeah. In this industry.
And so you've been through highs and lows with things. In the past 6 months, whether yourself, your coworkers, or fellow service industry people, have you noticed a change in how people have reacted or interacted with you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like people, it's hard when you go out and you haven't been out, especially with like a break that we've had, when everything was shut down for a while and people are coming out. Like, I do feel like for some reason people's patience are a little thinner, because we also are very like short-staffed. It's a lot different on our side too. Since after this pandemic, there's just been a lot of people that aren't able to come back to work, or, it's a lot tougher on our end, but it's also, I understand the other side too, where it's like people don't really maybe understand that so much. But like I was saying before, that there's a lot of people too that have a lot of patience, but then you will find some of the other people that really have a lack of, but it's been tough.
Have you found yourself challenged at times? I know you work at a great establishment, but there are there's wonderful people in many towns, but there's those who really, I think, are feeling overwhelmed and bring that stress, bring that impatience with them. Have you had any particular situations where you were made to feel kind of just like pushed to your limit a little bit, or just like you're ready to cry?
Yeah. For sure. I think that I feel like a lot of the people do see that we have less people and we're running around like maniacs, especially with the rules we've had going on. Being from New Jersey, we just were able to now lift all the restrictions within the restaurant, within the bar, just last Friday, so 2 Fridays ago. But we had to, we were switching up our seating. People weren't allowed to stand. They had to be seated. There's just a lot of rules going on. So not only were we trying to do our job, bartending and serving, but trying to also enforce these rules with people constantly too. So there was a lot of frustration and anger from that as well. And sometimes I'd be like, you think I want this? I don't want this. This is hard. This isn't something, I don't want to be yelling at you to sit down or to put your mask on when you're standing up. And especially in a bar atmosphere, it was tough too, because people are also like drinking as well, and like, eating and everything. So, and they're not used to having all these rules. Or they'll be like, I was just like in Florida and I didn't have to do any of this. And it's like, well, we're in New Jersey and there's definitely different rules here. So, yeah. So it's been a lot of challenges. And that's really, for the most part, what has pushed me over like my limit. Like I'm a very patient person, but when it came to all the rules and like, people being upset with me when I didn't, it's not fun. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun to have to be policing people as well as trying to do my job. So it got really, really hard. It did. And then a lot of switching things. You didn't know what was okay, what was not okay, because then people do come in and check to see if your restaurant's following the rules. So, and if you're not, you get fined. So the management was always very stressed out, and like you just get a lot from a lot of different angles. So, and like I said, like people do see that you're busy and you're running around and you're nuts. So like people have been pretty patient with that. It's more to food, because the kitchen's so low staffed, like extra. It's really hard across the boards for everybody to find people to work in the kitchen right now. That's been tough. So food was kind of struggling with timing and like getting things out in time. So, and people don't see behind the scenes like that or really know.
Well, I think what you said with behind the scenes is critical, because you don't see what's really going on. And yeah, like you said, like there's two sides to everything. You have people like, I haven't been to, I haven't been out to eat in forever. I get to meet up with friends I haven't seen in forever, and you want to socially interact, but on your end, there's limitations, there's restrictions. And the fact that you're working there, but you aren't the ones who made up the rules. And so there's a lot of different angles where it's like, I believe all of us kind of taking a deep breath and saying, okay, like this person that, is checking me out, at the local, grocery store, or at my favorite restaurant, or I'm doing this drive-through, whatever it is, it's saying like there's so much going on behind the scenes, right? I drove up, where the heck was I the other day? I think at a Starbucks. And like the drive-through was open, but going in wasn't open because there was like two people working, right? And so it's like, is it the fault of the people inside the making lattes and macchiatos that it's taking longer? No, it's not. They wish it was fully staffed, just like at your like. And so it's like, come on, where's my macchiato? And so it's taking pause and thinking like, am I going to get angry at this person who's working, right? Who's coming here, didn't have to show up, but is showing up and trying to do what they can. So this is where I believe patience is so critical right now. And also, I'm going to throw this at you, girl, the ability to say thank you and being grateful. How does that make you, how does it make you feel like when it's like somebody's able to kind of express that gratitude, how far that goes right now? Like, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Totally. Yes, I'd be like, wow, thank you for saying thank you. Because people, again, like I said, it's just constant, like, trying to tell people rules, and it really isn't like a fun vibe. You know what I mean? Like, it's not fun to be like, keep telling people what to do all the time and like trying to, trying to be fast, trying to like get everything right, like what I'm used to doing for how long in this industry. And it's a little like more difficult now, but people like saying thank you, yeah, and like really seeing how hard we're working, kind of thing. Even though I do love what I do, but people just like recognizing that and like saying thank you, or just making a point to be like, I see like how hard you guys are working. Like that it was really nice to hear, and I did hear it often. I did, but it was nice when it's like on the other end, you're hearing people like upset and you're trying to fix that because you want them to come back and like all that stuff. So it really does go a long way.
Gratitude, baby, gratitude. I do think, before we hopped on, I know we talked a little bit about sometimes where, we can bring our stress from what we've been through this past year, our stress with things going at home or at work or whatever, to wherever we're going, right? And so sometimes I do believe it's important to think, okay, before I go out to eat, if I'm not in a good place and I'm really stressed out or I'm really anxious, or before I go into Target or I go, to pick up these bags of mulch at Home Depot, and there's going to be limitations and restrictions on things, obviously depending on where you live, but like, am I in the right spot where I'm going to go and not be edgy, not be testy, and not be grateful, and not be willing to kind of give some slack? I mean, I know here in Vero, there's a number of, places that have like put signs up and said like, we just, please be patient, please be kind. We don't have as much staffing. We're trying. There's businesses that have gone out of business, right? You have businesses that survived the pandemic. May we be grateful. May we try to come together as a community and say like, okay, before I go out, am I edgy? Maybe it's better that I do a takeaway. Maybe it's better, I make some grilled cheese, or maybe I wait till tomorrow to go here. Because I'm not going to be in the best of spirits. I mean, I think that's a big one. Maybe I need to just chill out and wait a few hours, or maybe I wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. That for sure. And because we've even said to each other, we're like, I don't understand. This person is so angry, obviously, and it can't be about us. So it's like, why did you even come out? That's sometimes we say that. We're like, why just stay home? Just stay home, So that's sometimes
home.
Right. Yeah. So that sometimes is frustrating too, but it's hard to deal with when you're just like, why did this person even come out today? But we are very grateful for everybody that does support us in our business and all of that. But it's just the patience part and understanding what we're all going through right now. Everybody. So, and honestly,
it's empathy, it's patience. Yeah.
And like, it's just, like across the board, like I said before, it is hard to find staff, like the behind the scenes stuff, like back of house stuff. It's really tough for everybody, I think, everywhere right now. Mm-hmm. So it's just keeping that in mind. And everyone's trying to do their best.
I think it's huge right now. Yeah. It's thinking, because I believe this could bring out the best in us, where we go somewhere and we're intentionally making eye contact and saying thank you and being patient. It can allow us to feel, I would say, stronger as a community, where we're supporting small business. But if we're in a place emotionally thinking, I'm a little stressed, I'm a little anxious, you know what, I'm going to kind of be the bigger person here and just stay home, or I'm going to cool off a few hours and be in a better spot. I've seen different clips of people where they've gone out to somewhere and they've thrown coffee on someone, or they've just screamed, and just like you'd said a few minutes ago, it wasn't because it took 3 minutes for their coffee, right? Or it wasn't because this wasn't done quick. There's things rooted, and all of us, what we've been through in these past few months, include the people that are helping us survive and helping us go to our local restaurants, go to our local businesses. Let's be kind. And this is where I think that what I always say, Sam, my favorite 4-letter word is kind. Like, let's be kind. Let's be kind to each other, because right now, and I don't know when this is going to end, where staffing is not such an issue. It's an epidemic right now. And let's just be kind to each other. And encourage each other. I would even say this. Here's my challenge. Didn't even think about this. Like, you're out somewhere, or somebody is just, you could tell they're having a hard day, or, maybe you tip a little bit more, or you leave a note, like, you're doing a good job. Let's encourage and let's step up to the plate a little bit.
Yep. And you do see that. Some people are like, it's like a, breath of fresh air when you come across people like that, which does happen, which is cool.
Which does happen, but maybe we need to rally a little bit together, a little bit more, and say, let's do it, baby. Let's do it. So if I were to ask you, as we kind of wrap things up a little bit, any 2 cents that you'd like to leave for somebody working in the service industry, somebody that is super plugged into your town, that you're out and about, what, is there anything that you would say for people to kind of keep in mind, and maybe just be reminded of?
That we do, I love my job, and through all of this, I still do love it. It's been definitely different challenges going on, but yeah, it's just being kind and patient and just enjoying the fact that we can be together again, because those 3 months that we were shut down, was horrible. Like, it was terrible not being able to see people and like do what I like to do, you know, and like serve people and have that social interaction. It was really hard not to have that. So then finally, once we open back up and like we do have that, it's just like important to remember that we are able to be together and enjoy each other, even if, you know, things aren't exactly back to the way they should be or the way they were. We still are able to be together, and that's just what I'm really grateful for.
It's all mindset. I do believe with every stage of this, what's our mindset, and kind of just thinking about other people, and not bringing our stuff literally to the table when we go out to our community. You know, I believe that with all my heart. Yeah, as human beings, like, we want to be around other people. There's so many, wherever you're at, you know, different regulations and things have loosened up certain places and not others. But it's remembering that, like, we get, you know, we're now able to go out for a walk, or you're able to do this. So looking at the positives instead of the negatives. And it's so easy to be like, why is this taking so long? Okay, what's going on behind the scenes? Again, refreshing, reminding ourselves of our current circumstances. That goes super far. But I want to say thank you to all of you for listening, tuning in. And as we go forward, right, no matter where you're at in your community, no matter where you're at in the world, may we stop, reflect, and take some time to infuse empathy, thinking about what's behind the scenes, and allowing ourselves to be grateful for how far we've come and where we are. And as we go on today, my friends, I want to wish you an abundance of peace, love, and goodness.